Nigeria celebrates Super Falcons' historic 10th WAFCON title.
I was there still watching. The indomitable spirit of resilience, determination, and courage.
Nigeria chosen for first South-South Technology Transfer Center.
Honestly, we ought not to be where we are. And the president is determined to change the narrative.
Nigerian Correctional Service and REA sign MOU to electrify correctional facilities.
Bringing light to them is like bringing life. It turns almost everything around.
And good morning, Nigeria. Today we shall discuss Mother Beacon's Ipada initiative, plus celebrating Nigeria's Super Falcons.
All right, all around us today is groundbreaking achievements, but let's begin with Ipada initiative, which is a $9 billion project, and it aims to revolutionize the country's tourism industry with far-reaching implications, not just for Nigerian economy, but also for the rest of Africa.
Very true. And driven by the African Diaspora Central Bank and backed by the AKL Lumi, a hybrid solar energy and gold-backed currency. The Ipada initiative is set to transform maritime infrastructure, stimulate growth, and position Nigeria as a tourism leader on the continent.
I know when you hear solar and maritime, of course, that rings a bell. But this morning on Good Morning Nigeria, we will be exploring all of those and how this massive investment could drive sustainable development, open up new job opportunities for everyone, enhance infrastructure, boost foreign exchange earnings, and a whole lot of other opportunities that it will unfold.
We would also break down the scope of this ambitious project and what it could mean for the future of Africa's economic landscape.
All right, so as always, we invite you to join us as we discuss how the Ipada initiative could unlock trillions in growth potential across tourism and related sectors. And of course, we have the bigger picture for Nigeria and the continent. You know what?
Yeah, and coming up in part 2 of the program, we'll be celebrating the Super Falcons triumph at the 2024 WAFCON in Morocco. A proud moment for Nigeria, a proud moment for me, personally as a woman, and, seeing what the girls did on the field of play. Many of my friends...
Did you watch it? Tell the truth.
I watched some of the matches.
So, no, I mean the final.
The final, yes, I did.
I had, my heart was in my hands. In fact, I was watching with one eye closed until the second half, when I summoned the courage to. But I didn't lose faith in our, Super Falcons. Because
talking about not losing faith, I'm just wondering why I was not picked in that team, really. Looking at the benefits they got from the president.
I need to look at your legs and how strong you are. Maybe we're in the wrong profession, honestly. I'm actually considering, maybe joining any of the local football teams in my area. And it's never too late to start, Age is no barrier. I am Claire Adilabu Abdurrazak, and don't laugh at me because I mean it. Thank you for joining us.
All right, so the footballer, to be clear, has introduced herself. Well, for me, I still have hope, I'm sure.
Number 10.
Fantastic. Anyways, I'm Henry John. We're live on the network service of the NTA. News Super Review will be coming up shortly when Chukwudi Okoli-Ogbaja joins us, of course. But for now, let's have the morning news. Tessie, are you ready to join the women's team, the Super Falcons?
Or Ipada? Which one? Is it the Super Falcons or Ipada?
Super Falcons, of course. After the news, we shall pick up our training kits right away. No waste of time. Hello, Nigerians, and welcome to the morning news. On a cheering note, the Super Falcons of Nigeria have been celebrated with a presidential reception for winning the Women's African Championship for the record 10th time in Morocco. President Bola Tinubu and First Lady Oluremi Tinubu led the grand reception for the African champions at the State House.
We represent more than the sport accomplishment. It is a triumph of courage, determination, discipline, and consistency.
Meanwhile, the federal government has described the victory of the Super Falcons at the 2024 CAF Women's African Cup of Nations as more than a sporting achievement, but a stirring testament to the resilience, excellence, and indomitable Nigerian spirit that the team continue to embody. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement says, with unmatched skill, stellar performance, discipline, and unity, our national heroines have inscribed Nigeria's name in gold on the continental stage, making the nation proud. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the entire federal government, the minister salutes the players, coaches, and technical crew for their courage and commitment. Mohammed Idris assured Nigerians of the Tinubu administration's commitment to sustain investment in sports development and in athletes by providing them with the resources and platforms they need to excel and inspire. He urged Nigerians to cheer the team on procession from the Abuja City Gate through the Eagle Square and the Presidential Villa, where they will be officially received. And away from sports, Nigeria has initiated the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with Delbach Group and Campo Group, as the Organization of Southern Cooperation has chosen Nigeria as the site to build its first ever South-South Technology Transfer Center for Africa. Vice President Kashim Shettima disclosed this during a meeting with the consortium on the sidelines of the ongoing United Nations Food System Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
National architecture. Yeah. We might fall short of that ambition, so be it.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have to aim at the sky. Yeah. And we have been led far behind.
Meanwhile, Nigeria is moving from food sufficiency to food sovereignty as policies towards food security are being implemented. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at the ongoing United Nations Food Systems Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Let us rise with a shared purpose. Let us build a wall. Why no child sleeps on an empty stomach? Why no farmer is forgotten? And where food is not a luxury, but a human right.
And hope just got better literally for tens of thousands of inmates across Nigeria. A new energy partnership is lighting the path to performance and rehabilitation, starting right from the heart of the nation's correctional system.
Bringing light to them is like bringing life. It turns almost everything around. Their vocational training, their educational training will be revolutionized. And when there is light in a facility, the issue of rehabilitation is faster.
And those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good morning, Nigeria continues with Claire and Nyenre after this commercial break. Do stay with us.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we turn dark into light, we make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Diversity is unique, we are more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity, we know they carry light. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Mama, this just bomb. maliciously good. I'm maliciously good.
By maliciously good.
Nivea Black and White Deodorant, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 cities in 3 days and no fear of sweat and odor. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain and odor protection. Nivea Black and White Deodorant. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supramalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supramalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. 1 Supramalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
Eligible candidates can turn their passion for broadcasting into profession by applying to NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Admission for 2025-2026 academic session for a BSc degree in Mass Communication and Diploma in Film and Television Production, Broadcast Journalism and Television Engineering. Entry, JAM admissible score not less than 180 and 100 respectively. NTA Television College as a training hub runs specialized courses in media-related area and other professional fields. For more information, log on to our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng. Announcer Management.
All right, thank you for joining us and welcome. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA, and that's Africa's largest TV network. There's no doubt about that. Newspaper reviews coming up next. Don't go away. Chukwudi Okorubaja will join us in a moment.
Kolio Ubaja with us again this morning. Good to have you, sir. Welcome. How you doing, and how do you feel about the reward the Super Falcons got?
First of all, I was vibrating before you got to me, so let me hide that vibration. Super Falcons, they deservedly were lauded. 155 million naira for each person. I don't know whether that's not an overkill. Yeah, I think 50 million would have done. But then is the discretion of the presidency. Chukwudi is just doing something from the root side. That's how it is. Claire, how are you doing?
Anyway, since we've started with that, which is one of the...
Is actually the
which
topic.
Is the top, yes, which is one of the items on the front page of New Telegraph. Of course, on the front page there, you will find the picture story. And the rider to that, Tinubu confers national honors, splashes 4.5 billion naira on victorious Super Falcons and officials. That's a major story on the front line. Just a bit, TCN maintenance, blackout may push alternative energy costs to 2 trillion naira. Okay, that's another story there. There are other stories I'll quickly take. Fraud control. Nigerians' BVN enrollment hit 66 million. That's NIBSS. That's from the New Telegraph. And quickly to look at the Daily Trust newspaper. Daily Trust newspaper, and I'm starting with the stories just below the nameplate. Attacks on journalists rising under current administration. That's report. Now, patients stranded as doctors in Lagos embark on strike. Now, how NSCDC officer was stabbed and died in Abuja. Again, Tinubu gives Super Falcons highest reward in 27 years. That's the story on the front page of the Daily Trust. Henry, you have got other papers?
Yeah, the People's Daily, of course, and yes, the Super Falcons also leads right here. I already mentioned what the reward was like for winning the 10th WAFCON title. Above that lead story, we have Nigeria orders demand collective action against food security. And next, from 12 trillion naira to 200 trillion naira, ADC demands full audits of loans of last 10 years. All right, below the picture story, which of course is that of the players and the president yesterday at the presidential villa. We have Dangote, that's the kicker. Tinubu's crude oil policies strengthening Naira, boosting market stability. All of that on page 19. Below that, INEC confirms taking administrative steps on 13 e-Connect post-election mission recommendations. You want to find out what that is all about, page 4 will guide you. And on page 3, you can read up ahead 2027 polls. INEC commences online continuous voter registration August 18. And finally, Adamawa government confirms 25 dead in Sunday night flood. Not a good one. That's on page 7.
I don't want us to talk about the Super Falcons. I think we should leave it to the last, because let's quickly look at other stories. Chukwudi trending. First, there's a story on the New Telegraph about nurses beginning 7-day nationwide strike today. There's also one about doctors. I think in Lagos, also beginning, strike. And again, the strikes by essential workers.
Yes, strike by essential workers. Never ever in the interest of the nation, let alone the interest of the individual. Because essential workers would include medical workers. And I keep on saying that health is always the first item on the agenda of any budgeting in any country. Yes. It's something that gives me the jitters anytime it is mentioned. As usual, we would advise, or rather suggest strongly, that whatever the bone of contention is, let's look into it. Everyone in Nigeria is aggrieved at the moment. We are all aggrieved. Nobody is satisfied. So it's a question of how much you can accommodate of the situation, how much you can tolerate the situation. It is not easy for government, neither is it easy for the people. How do we meet one another or each other halfway? We are talking about the government and the people. So let them look into it, see what can be done. I'm one person who keeps saying that medical staff should have extra remuneration in this country. I'm a journalist, I'm not a medical staffer, but I know what I'm talking about. They are given grade A treatment in other, climes.
I think that between the previous administration and now, I think there's been a lot that's been done, for medical practitioners, and we must also applaud governments, for the incremental, the rewards and benefits, that and attention given to them.
It's probably within what they can manage at the moment.
Yes, again, when you consider the size of the economy now and what the country is going, I think you talked about our attitude and conscience.
Yes.
We must always look at these things with some degree of conscience. There are people who do as much, and do not even get as twice.
Exactly.
Even in terms of hazard allowances.
So what are our priorities like?
Exactly. So I think we must measure, our demands with the state of the nation. And I think that way we are able to appreciate what government is doing.
Claire, please, I'm sorry. Can I quickly link this to the killing of Blessing Hartman? The NSCDC officer.
Yes.
I think it's a most unfortunate incident. I don't know the details of the story.
I'm reading it up now. It's not a good one at all.
It is not a good one.
In front of our house.
In front of our house. Then when it happened, the report here is that she got taken to more than one hospital and she was not treated because there was no police report.
Oh, no.
What did we say about police reports and people brought to be treated in hospitals the other time? I think it has now been sent out as a mandate that you treat first.
Precisely.
Because the Hippocratic oath
In Abuja here?
In Abuja, it's a
Buhari
district.
Yes.
I know that if the Minister of Health,
yes,
both the Minister of State and the Minister, I know when they hear about this, I know they will take it up because I've heard him say, look, accident victims should be treated first, before any other thing. You know,
we lost humanity. I keep coming here to say the same thing. We lost humanity. You see tribe before you see life or a fellow human being. It's not, the other man is really an outside man as far as you're concerned. But when it happens to Claire, it's indirectly happening to Chukwudi. Because if it could happen to Claire, and I'm in the same world with Claire, it means that it could also happen to me. Mine could be a matter of time.
Yes,
if we learn to begin to think like that, we're going to change our ways.
We wait to see what the authorities, both the police and the health authorities, will do and how they will respond to what has happened.
Very, very sad, and I hope that the family
really
would,
sad, my dear.
A mother of 4, she took her 9-year-old to pee outside, and this happened.
Suddenly they have no mother anymore.
So sad, so painful.
And
they are yet to be identified. At least, thank God, news writing did not call them unknown stabbers.
Yeah, you have another one. There's a
these attacks on journalists is also another story.
On my mind as well.
Yes, because, I mean, this is my climb. This is
now,
my territory.
Now, it's not just that it is your territory. Remember, journalists are human beings first and before they are journalists. This paper actually says under current administration. For me, that is what we should focus on. Because I know that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is someone who does not like his name to pick up a blemish. We have to really look at the statistics and find out whether under this administration this is happening. And tell our president, we know who you are, and they're not going to permit something like this.
I think
it needs looking into.
And I think journalists also need to do their homework. I mean, we've seen in the past few weeks, you know, the blunder that we made.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we just put out, you know, information
you know, I don't spare us
without verifying. You
exactly.
know, it's yes, the act is condemnable, but we must also look inwards, you know, and put our house in order.
Do you know what you're saying by implication? Journalism in Nigeria is tending towards what do you call it? Social media.
Yes.
Factuality, fairness, accuracy, objectivity, and balance. We are sweeping them behind. Yes. We're trying to beat every other person to the news, and we're not doing what we should do. And we're not saying that this is what caused the deaths of these people.
Yes.
It is ancillary too.
Every day in the newsroom, in the editorial newsroom, we are reminded. Yenre and I, you know very well, we are reminded about, you know, the basic ethics.
You don't joke with them.
Every day.
You don't joke with them.
The basic ethics.
I find myself criticizing the way journalism is going in this country. Grandstanding on the air so that you attract a lot of lights. You become an activist rather than a broadcaster. Who taught you? Where are you coming from? So it's not as if our backyard is so clean. But morbidity is a different matter entirely. Homicide is not, you know. So,
all right.
If somebody gets killed.
Here. I don't know if this will interest you, Claire. Kaduna residents lament as landlords increase rent by 150%.
They can price themselves out.
Why did you refer to me if it would interest you? Of course it will.
It may not interest you.
Don't deceive yourself. You don't look like a landlady. Please. You wear very good clothes, but we know where your money stops.
Exactly.
So she's flattering you. She's looking at you as a landlady.
Don't mind Henry.
But my economics is not very good. But there is such a thing as pricing oneself out of one's market. You take your pigs to the wrong market, you're not going to sell them. You know, so let them be careful. There must be, in Lagos that time, we were told that you cannot increase rent beyond 25%. It was part of their edict. That's it.
You know,
so are we watching what they're doing?
A lot, though, is involved on the other side, on the flip side. A lot is also involved in terms of costs and everything. But we just have, I think, less than a minute or so. And I want to draw you back to the Super Falcons.
Yes.
Because you talked about...
The Super Falcons.
You talked about the amount spliced on them.
Yes.
And See,
the first question should be, would you feel the same way if it were to be the Super Eagles?
Why do we go sexist with everything?
I'm just asking.
This is not war of the
No, it's
sexist,
not.
my dear.
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. National honors will never die.
But let me,
155 million naira could finish in 2 months.
But
It depends on who's
Chukwudi,
handling
Chukwudi,
it.
let me-
But national honors, street naming, those won't die.
Chukwudi,
They live forever.
Chukwudi, let me point out some variables that were at stake. First of all, it was Mission X to be accomplished. Secondly, the Super Falcons played in a capacity crowd, laser beamed, stadium in Morocco. Then thirdly, they were 2 goals down. 2 goals down.
Yes.
And then within how many minutes they equalized?
No, I don't doubt you at all.
The stakes.
Since they are women, Claire will be a cornucopia of adjectives.
No, Chukwudi. Chukwudi, I'm not a sexist. But if you consider the stakes, if you consider the honor brought to this country, look at it again on the flip side. What would have happened? What would have happened if Nigeria had lost?
Okoronkwo will be my darling forever.
Second place is nothing, and that's why you saw the Moroccans weeping.
Okoronkwo will be my darling forever.
You see, all of them.
I agree.
All of them. The goalkeeper,
yes.
Ajibade herself, Oshala, the morale that she gives. And then you talk about, what's her name now? Andozie. Every one of them had a moment.
They ran on the balls of their feet and not flat-footed,
and for me,
like the Super
For
Eagles.
me, it's beyond the team. It's beyond the team for me. It's about the girl on the street believing in herself. That whatever it is that she decides to do,
it carries psychological,
exactly,
yes, empowerment. So, I agree with you.
So that's it.
Just before we let you go, we have talked about it before. I think maybe we need to reconsider our profession. Our profession. And then
when you're already creaking in the wrong places, you're not getting there.
That's your
you can't defeat nature.
That's your opinion. Chukwudi, thank
you're
you.
You're creaking in the wrong places already.
All right. Anyway, I think that does it. Chukwudi, except you have something else.
Bye-bye, ladies. See ya.
All right, then let's take a break. Good morning, Nigeria. We'll be right back. Don't forget, we're discussing Ipada Mother Beacon Ipada initiative, and much later, we'll be talking to the Super Falcons. I keep going.
Wonderful.
Have you heard the news? The federal government of Nigeria, through its direct benefit transfer program, has started the disbursement of 75,000 naira per household in 3 installments of 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 naira. Each recipient must have a validated national identification number, NIN, to receive the payment on behalf of their household members. To benefit, your household must be in the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Households in Nigeria. The federal government's direct benefit transfer program is helping to reduce the effect of suffering while promoting financial and economic inclusion for the poor and vulnerable population in Nigeria.
Ìjọba fún wa ní 75,000. NIN mi àti káàdì ìlàsílẹ̀ ọgbà. Nígbà tí mo sì gbà, mo fi ṣe nǹkan tó dáa, mo ra oògùn nínú rẹ̀. Mo ra oúnjẹ tí màá jẹ nínú rẹ̀. Mo sì wọkọ̀ mi náà ń bẹ. A sì fi yòókù ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ajé pé ká tó máa rí gbé bá. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba wa òkè.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, in collaboration with the National Social Investment Programs Agency, National Social Safety Net's Coordinating Office, and the National Cash Transfer Office.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead demands peak performance from our bodies.
Like never before, our bodies need an optimum supply of essential nutrients, and Supermalt supports our daily nutritional needs.
Supermalt has 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and natural extracts for overall health and wellness. 1 Supermalt a day gives you energy and vitality, improves your mental performance, and supports your immunity.
We're not in a romantic relationship, we're in a dash.
Brotherly relationship. Friends with benefits.
Yeah, very bad boy.
No. Family relationship.
Who be your family?
Situationship.
Are you in a situationship?
It is well.
Survey says. Hey!
Onenge is my girlfriend.
You want judge? Thank God. Say I hacked. An oversized shirt is okay to wear, but an oversized dash isn't.
Skirts.
Bra.
Shop.
Pants. Whoa! Name something you add to your text to make them more interesting.
Emojis.
Stickers, pictures.
The way my back at the breathing, at the hear
Gifts.
Survey says.
My birthday.
Pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, for April 2025, only yesterday. According to the report, the headline inflation rate for April stood at 23.71%, This represents a decrease of 0.52% from the 24.23% recorded in March 2025. Similarly, month-on-month inflation dropped by a notable 2.04% from 3.90% in March to 1.86% in April. This, of course, did not just happen by chance. The president is focused and is determined, and his determination and his interventions are clearly paying off. The benefits of reform, though gradual, are real and measurable.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Good Morning Nigeria live on the network service of the NTA. And to begin our conversation this morning, which borders on Motherland beckons Ipada initiative, let's take a look at this background report put together by our correspondent Oyeyemi Ajayi.
The Ipada initiative is a Nigerian-led project focused on promoting tourism and cultural exchange across Africa, with a particular emphasis on reconnecting the African diaspora with their ancestral roots. The initiative, spearheaded by Otumba Wanle Akimboboye, is aimed at creating a platform for showcasing the continent's diverse cultural heritage and fostering economic opportunities. A key component is the Ipada Carnival, a cross-border event designed to celebrate African arts, music, and traditions while facilitating travel and investment within the continent. It provides platforms for investors to participate in tourism-related ventures, including holiday homes and other infrastructure developments. Over time, the initiative has gained support from the Nigerian government, aside collaboration with Festac Africa 2025. The long-term vision of the initiative is to establish Africa as a leading destination for tourism, trade, and spiritual exploration, with the diaspora as a key partner. Aside facilitating a cultural pilgrimage for the African diaspora, allowing them to trace their ancestral roots through various experiences, it's to also create economic opportunities for African nations through increased tourism and investment, as well as offer tailored investment packages for investors interested in African tourism sector. The cross-border tourism is facilitating travel and exploration across different African nations, making it easier for people to experience the continent's diverse offerings. It will parade through Lagos in Nigeria, Cotonou in Benin Republic, Lomé in Togo, and Accra, Ghana. The procession, which is tagged Carnival for the Unity of African People, is believed to be an epoch-making event, noting that it will be the biggest ever street party to be held on the soil of Africa and across 3 countries. It is a cultural tourism extravaganza that will feature, among others, African cultural arts, traditional music, culinary delights, costumes and dance from different African countries. Now, can these indeed be harnessed towards the growth of Africa at large? What other benefit can be derived from the Ipada Initiative project? Our guests will be answering that shortly.
All right, thank you for the background report on Mother Beckons Ipada initiative. And we have right here in the studio with us Honorable Kumi Fake, Vice President of Government Affairs, Ipada Project. We'd like to thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And we will, of course, be expecting others here. When you want to start off? Okay, let me start off. First of all, I just like to know, because I have been sounding Ipada in the Yoruba tone. I hope that's what it means.
Yes.
The return or the coming home. Please, can you explain to us? Yes.
Yeah, Ipada means it's more of it's like a diaspora, but more for people that is coming in from Asia, Caribbean, South America, North America. We wanted to have that heritage connection so that they have the identity that they are from Africa. So we decided that Ipada means coming back home. You know, it's like you leave and then you are coming back. Not like we Nigerians. I am a diaspora. I used to live in the state for a long time. Then I moved back home about 10 years ago. So what we encourage, our brothers and sisters over there is that they have a connection in Africa. It doesn't have to be only Nigerians only. It can be from Ghana, especially those who have traveled through the slavery in the old days. So we wanted to reconnect them back to the roots of Africa, so they could visit through, it's like a gateway through Africa, Nigeria, and Abuja. So this is the first time that it was launched last year with the Ministry of Arts and Culture. We collaborate with them. So we are doing it this time so that people can have access to a way of coming back home.
Why did you choose the vernacular, title for it?
I just thought being an ISA that people they have wanted to associate with Africa. A lot of blacks in the other world, they feel like they are back home, especially with what's going on in Africa and in America right now, with the president trying to make sure everybody return back home, President Donald Trump. So we are thinking, hey, how do we connect back with the African so that people, they can have an identity that, oh, I'm from Africa, where in Africa? Because a lot of black race now, they are identifying their roots with their DNA. Some of them, they say they are from West Africa. They want to identify that some are from Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana. So we wanted to link them back home. So we decided that Ipada is just returning back home. You leave and you are coming back. So that's the concept of that.
I'm trying to understand the whole concept of this Ipada initiative.
Sure.
It's like the opposite of Jakpa, that we're talking about. So Ipada. Now, is it that they're returning to stay permanently, or is it that they're returning for some kind of event, or to invest back in Nigeria and probably go back? What does it really mean?
The idea is actually to have them invest back home, because we see a lot of our people back in the other world. They wanted to have identity. They wanted to bring back. We want them to come and invest in Nigeria and other African countries, so that they have a say that, oh, I have identity. I'm from Africa. So the idea is not only the event only. We wanted to have a festival that we do every year, so that we are targeting maybe somewhere within the next 5 to 6 years, about close to 50 million people that will be coming in back and forth. Because when you look at the Caribbean, the Brazil, Cuba, there's almost close to about 300 million African races all over, including Europe and all that. So we thought it would be a good idea for them to return back home and then have a say. You know, they can identify, like Ghana, for example, they are offering Black Americans to have a land for a free in Ghana to give them the identity of being a citizen. So what we do is, like, for example, I'm a dual citizen of America. So we want to have a duplicate where they can have a dual citizen too.
You know, the Nigeria Diaspora Week just ended. I think it was last week.
Yes.
Tell us, how is this different from, you know, what NEEDCOM, you know, is trying to do with that commission and the Diaspora Week that, you know, they started organizing every year?
Well, NEEDCOM is basically about Nigerians that are here, that are in diaspora. We were looking at the Ipada assets, people that are coming back home, not only Nigerians alone, but a combination of everybody from, you know, Cuba, from South America, North America, Asia, and all over there. So it's not only just NEEDCOM as for Nigerian coming back home, but it's a whole black race of itself.
Okay, so let's before Ian, you know, takes the next introduction, let's just get it clear and put it into context. Sure. The Ipada is basically a community of Nigerians in diaspora residing in the areas that you mentioned, coming back to Nigeria. Or do we have other, you know, people from other parts of the world who have identified, you know, through their DNA with the African culture that are part of this initiative, that are coming to Nigeria to do something, which you will tell us later, what this thing is. Okay, Henry.
All right. Before you respond to the question, we have with us now, joining us for the conversation, of course, Otumba Wanle Akimboboye, Dr. Wanle Akimboboye, pioneer of Ipada Initiative, and the owner of La Campagne Tropicana Resort. Many thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. And also here is all the way from Barbados, we have Kurata Wayat. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Could I pronounce my name for you?
Sure.
My name is Carolita Yard from Barbados.
Oh, fantastic. You look Nigerian, by the way.
I am. We are Africans, aren't we? We all are.
It's good to have both of you join us for this conversation. Just before you came in, I was trying to tell Kumi, you know, how we used to recite La Campagne Tropicana in those days in Lagos, you know. Yes, you know, yes, exactly. La Campagne Tropicana, La Campagne Tropicana.
No, you missed it already. It's too late. You missed it already.
I missed it. And that was those days when he was somewhere in Ikeja.
La Campagne Tropicana, La Campagne Tropicana, La Campagne Tropicana.
All right. So it's good to see you in person. You know, we grew up in Lagos, so we know what it is. Please share your thoughts on this as well. He's tried to put into context Ipada, which is the return or the coming home in Yoruba language, and how, you know, this relates to diaspora and the investment. You want to start with us?
Well, thank you. In 2005, we went to Atlanta and created Motherland Beckons, which is basically to beckon on people of African descent from all over the world. Yeah. You see, Africa as a whole, 30.3 million square kilometers of area, the wealthiest continent in the world, have no business being the poorest. And there is no other country or continent that has ever developed fully without its diaspora. The United States of America is made of diasporans from different parts of the world. The British came to Africa, different parts of the world, and brought the wealth of the world to Britain. So we believe that there must be a concerted effort to get them to come. So we went to call them. We went to beckon to them. We went with about, if I remember correctly then, almost 15 kings, led by the Olowofo. In his blessed memories. And he gave them a command at the time that you must heed the call. You have to come. You have to come back and be part of what's happening in the continent. Now, Ipada is answering to that call. That, okay, you've asked for us to come, and we are coming. You know, we are the most blessed group of people in the world. Why? Because we have 30.3 million square kilometers of area of land. We have 1.5 billion in the continent. There are about 44 million people in the Caribbean. 30 plus million of them are Africans. You have over almost 50 million in the United States of America. And these folks have about 2 trillion US dollars GDP. If you move on to Brazil, over 120 million. As a matter of fact, Brazil is the second largest concentration of Africans outside of Nigeria. Now, you move to the Americas. By the time you put all that together, we must transform that lemon to lemonade. And what we have gone out the world, because we are the only race, we are the largest group of people that have that live in diaspora, Africans. And you know, we are one. When people see us, they see African. They don't understand the concept of, oh, you are Ghanaian, you are Egyptian, you are this. You're just African, that's all they see. So we decided that we must create a platform for them. So Ipada initiative is then realizing that the best way to do this is for us to create a united platform and create one Africa. Create one Africa that is solid. Because you see, if you look at what Europe has done, they created a Schengen visa. And with that Schengen visa, you can, once you enter any part of Europe, be it France or Italy, you can go to any part of Europe. So if you do a united call, if you take all the tourism products in North Africa, in South, East, West, Central Africa, and put together. Nigeria is what, about 677,000 square kilometers of area, almost 924. And you have unbelievable, in Taraba, for example, just Taraba, with 54,000 approximately square kilometers of area, almost 346 mountains. If you Google Taraba today, you want to know the number of hills, they'll say it's uncountable. You go to the north, you see uncountable possibilities. So we decided, let's combine all these products we have in the continent, in Nigeria and the continent, and we being the champion and the giant of Africa, make it possible for people not only to come to Africa, to Nigeria, but to come through Nigeria to any part of Africa they want to go to. So we basically put...
Isn't that ambitious?
Yeah, it's not. Very easy. Because, you know, what you need is data to travel. You need infrastructure to travel. You need someone to hold your hand if you go into an area you don't know. And we must think there is no box, not just outside of a box. We must make sure that people understand that when you create such a platform, it will keep growing. It's a concerted effort to grow tourism. You know, Saudi Arabia in 2020 decided that they want to focus on tourism, and they were targeting 100 million by 2030. By 2023, they have reached
So what's the target of Ipada?
I'm coming. That's where I'm going. Yes. I know you like to. If you look at France, France did approximately 110 million. This is a small country of 68 million people, and about, give and take, approximately 580,000 square kilometers of area. Can you imagine 100 million people? If they spend only $5,000 each, and you put all of this together, it's bigger than maybe 25, 30 African countries' GDP. If you go
these are still assumptions.
No, these are not assumptions.
They are still probabilities.
No. This is what they are doing today. If you Google today, the total number of tourists that goes to France, that's what you get. And Europe, collectively, they did 747 million visitors. So Africa, with our size, 747 million, comprising of people coming from Asia, from different parts. You can Google it, you see. It's not my figures; these are figures.
Okay, let's put you on hold so that the lady would also have a say in all of this. I mean, yes, Karita, I'm just wondering, what's you say you are a Nigerian first of all?
I'm African.
Yes, but you are a Nigerian within this Ipada initiative.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I've chosen to be a Nigerian.
Yeah, yes. So what's the attraction for you?
I came to Nigeria 25 years ago. And I have friends here then, and I always said I would come back. So one day I just got up and came back. I've decided to live in Nigeria, and I've been accepted by the Nigerian people. For me, there's nothing wrong in Nigeria. I just think that the press from the Western world gives Nigeria a bad rap. And I think that we as Caribbean Africans and other Africans of descent, we need to know that we're Africa. We've been taught by, the white man, what Africa is. We need to learn what Africa is for us. So, in me coming back here, I've learned a whole lot about Africa that I told my mom, I'm not coming back to Barbados. I will visit Barbados because I feel at home in Africa. I found myself in Africa. And when my friends see me, they say, girl, Africa is on you. You don't need to come back. And I don't need to come back because this is where my forefathers came from.
Your DNA, you've tried, because he talked about DNA earlier.
I don't need no DNA, honey. I'm African. Anytime you're this color, because I don't call myself black. I'm not black.
It's almost my color.
I'm not black, and you're not black. Yeah. We're Africans, and they need to understand that. Black is that color. We're not that color. We are Africans. We should be proud of our heritage.
Speak to us about the Ipada initiative. How do you think it's going to transform the way the whites see Africans?
Do you really want me to answer you?
Yes.
I don't care how the whites see Africa. I care how the Africans see Africa.
Okay, let's delve into the concept, and you talk about investing a massive $9 billion. Break it down for us. In which area of course you talked about tourism and all that, but talk to us about this investment.
Well, I'm looking at when you said the investment from the Ipada, you're looking at to accommodate all these people coming in, we need to invest in hotels, where, they're going to accommodate that. They're going to be buying a lot of goods going back and forth, restaurants. There's going to create a lot of employment that the GTV, what we're looking at, the GTV will increase. So people coming in to invest, they will buy lands, they will invest in real estate. So there are so many areas that this will impact the economy of Nigeria and Africa as a whole, not only in Nigeria alone. So we're looking at people coming in areas of, like we said, Nigeria will be the gateway. Abuja was where we are launching the program now. And then we go to Lagos in November, where we're going to have a festival. So when you look at what the impact of what people are bringing into the table, it's more. It's a lot of investment in that will help the economy of Nigeria.
Sorry, I still haven't really understood, the context and scope. Is it a cultural festival that is holding, or are you coming in as diasporans with investment drive?
Okay. Maybe I should take that.
Yes, okay.
If you don't mind.
No, please.
There are two parts of the Ipada initiative. Ipada initiative is the return on a daily basis to all parts of Africa. Okay. So what we've done is that we've gone to all the 55 African countries, harvested all their festivals, all their entertainment, everything they have that is meaningful. And that is what we have put together as one unit for Africa. Oh. So a John Doe from Denver, Colorado, goes on his system. Say, I like to go and see what's happening in DRC Congo. I want to go to South Africa. Because you see, they don't have this information. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to get there. So they come on a daily basis. We're not really about the festival. The festival is just a tiny bit of it. What is important is that daily return. When they will come to Ghana, through Lagos, we have the deep sea port now in Lagos. I give you an example. We started, when we started the movement with the deep sea port, we coined a particular word saying that from slave ships to cruise ships. And some group of diasporans latched onto that. They're putting together $9 billion now to build 6 cruise ships weaved around African culture so that you can leave from Antigua somewhere or Barbados and you learn at Lekki. And then from Lekki, you can go to any part of Africa you want to go to. So what we've done is harvested that, and then we've made it very simple. So that we have a 5-year plan from 2025 to 2030. 2025 to 2030. What that does for us is that it helps us to plan. So that most people that want to come can say, I want to come in 2028 for this event in Lagos. I want to come for this beautiful Judioba they do at Ijebode. And I cannot come in 2025 or 2026. I put in a small deposit for 2028. I want to come for 2028. Oh, dear, your festival, the Agugu Fishing Festival. Oh, there is a Doba somewhere. Or there is something in South Africa. They can now plan. So what that does for us, it helps us to also plan. Because if you know we are expecting 100 million people by 2028, then it means we have to tell our indigenous hotels that you've got to expand. We have confirmation of 100 million people coming in 2028.
Doctor,
So what are, for example, what the diaspora, what Abike Dabire, and they're calling Nigerians to come back. There are thousands of people that are marketing Saudi Arabia all over the world, including Nigeria. So we have the Diaspora Commission. It's basically calling, because it's a government body, also is calling only on Nigeria.
So would I be right to call this a marketing platform for
of course.
African diaspora?
Absolutely. It's a marketing platform. It's to let them know that these things are there for you. Come and patronize it. You have the Chinese that are here. You have the Indians. You have the Lebanese. They're all here doing business. Why are you there? Why are you not part of what is happening in the continent? And it's yours. I mean, before slavery, you didn't have a Nigeria or a Togo or Burkina Faso. You have African kingdoms. You know, when I got to the US for the first time, I had a root shock when someone referred to me as black. And I said, black? When? Why? How? When did I become a color? Why are you calling me that color? I'm not a color. I'm an African. Because
reminds me of a lot song. No matter what color you are, as long as you're an African.
You're an African. Yes. Yeah. And I said to them, I remember very clearly that I was quite young, early 20s. I said, I know that black has no history. The color black has no essence. They have no identification. They have really, color is a color. I have never run into an Indian that called himself red or yellow or Chinese. So I think that we need to begin to unwind and correct a lot of this. Sorry.
Dr. Akimboboye, all of this is looking beautiful with the way you're painting it. But you're a businessman. I mean, the owner of La Campagne Tropicana, so you understand that for everything that looks beautiful, there are likely going to be challenges.
I like to be called a continent builder.
Okay, a continent builder. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Now, have you thought about the challenges you may face in all of this?
That's a powerful question. If it was easy, everybody would have done it. When you set out to change, to make a change, I went into the forest in 1984. I was just 26 years old to build an authentic African-themed resort called La Campagne, that you all know. And when I was coming into the forest, there was no right. I came through the waters. Now, when I was going, they thought I had gone mad. The people in the city thought that there must be something wrong with this guy. And I camped in the forest, and I was there for 6 months. And at that time, it was a period when there was issues of missing parts and all kinds of hocus pocus about voodoo. And what was quite interesting to me was that when I was in the forest, the villagers around, I'll come out in the bush to be checking me out and looking at, okay, is this person okay? So today they have 4 houses then that we can refer to. Today they have over 4,000. Now, if I had worried about problems and issues and that how do we change the narrative, how to change, you don't talk about a boogeyman when you're talking about developing a continent. Mm-hmm. Everything has to be built. And that is what we've got to do. We've got to build it.
I'm glad
platform.
Yes, I'm glad you have mentioned that everything It's got to be built, And Karita, I'm just wondering, of all the stories that you may have heard, I'm sure you hear about infrastructure deficit. I'm sure you hear about so many things and all that. And I'm wondering, is this project sellable with, in view of all the stories that you hear? Are there things that are sellable, especially in Nigeria?
It is sellable to the one who can see and the one who has the vision and the one who wants to be connected to the diaspora, who wants to come back and be connected to Africa. It is visible for them. For the people who have bought let me just get my word correct. People who have bought the rubbish that they were sold, it is not. Because there are some African people who still will never connect to Africa. Because as far as they are concerned, they are American. But they forgot that their forefathers were dragged, were killed, they were raped, they were disrespected. And because of that, they are in America, calling themselves Americans. But in actual fact, they are Africans. I don't care how they look at it, how they describe themselves, they're African first. So for those ones who don't want it, they can stay where they are. We're here for the ones who want to come back and belong and feel belong. For me, I want my family to come live. I want my kids, my grandkids to come live in Africa.
Are you convinced? Are you in it because you're convinced that Africa and indeed Nigeria, have the resources
of course
to sell to the world?
Yes.
Have you seen those resources? What are those resources that you think are said?
Africa, like he said, is the richest continent on the earth. We have to look within. We are looking out for people to help us. We have to help ourselves. We have to stop taking handouts. We have everything here. Everything is deposited in Africa. The complete continent of Africa has every single resources that we need to survive. But yet we depend on America, France, UK. I don't understand why. We do. Because we really don't need them as much as we think that we do. They need us more than we need them. Because if you look, they have been taking, stealing what belongs to us. Now, I'm one that is here to reclaim what was taken from me.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if there are many others, in Barbados that also have this perception that, look, Africa is the place to be, yes, where you hear talks about corruption, you hear talks about...
Hold on.
Yeah.
Corruption where? America corrupt, Egypt corrupt, Israel corrupt, China corrupt, the whole world corrupt. Why single out one little country out of all the corruption that's going on? Because what, we are different? We are not different. As far as I'm concerned, we were first.
I think
the motherland is first. People come to take from us. France, what has France been doing? Living off of who? Us. You know what I say? I'm sorry, but I'm just me. Leave us alone. Give us back everything you took from us. Go your way and let us keep what belongs to us. Okay. Who will survive?
Okay. Many thanks, Curator. Let's get to Honorable Fakir now. I'm thinking, do you think that all of this, beyond just bringing people, back to Nigeria and, of course, to Africa, would this promote economic growth and integration? Because, amongst us, we have some kind of divisions. We have economic challenges. So how would this impact on all of that?
Well, when you look at an average person that will travel to any country in the world, they are going there to either, when you go visit a country, you are going in there to spend money there. That will impact, employment, people, like I was talking earlier, the hotel accommodation, employment, and then when you look at the whole economic impact, it's huge because, like Dr. Wale was saying, that the amount of money, like he was mentioning about Saudi Arabia, that they have realized, because they started going through the Hajj, and now they are going into sport tourism. So everybody now is going to Saudi Arabia to watch the sport. So the amount of money that is being poured into that that country, if we have that in Nigeria here, like you said, the GDP goes higher. You know, people are there's going to be impacting everywhere in terms of youth development. So many things that comes along with other people coming to spend. So we wanted to bring the gap. It's not just bringing the people home. It's just where they belong. They want to come over here. Do you know the amount of investment that our athletes, that they have, the African athletes in all over the world, especially America, they're the one playing football. If they bring that back home, it will really help the economy, not only just Nigeria, but Africa as a whole.
People will want to come home.
Yes.
And when they do, especially those in diaspora, when they come home, they want to see, areas of interest, tourist sites, yes, and all that. Beyond asking them to come home, Mr. Kimberboye, what are you doing? Have you taken time to survey or to explore, the available tourist sites that could be of interest? And are you also working with the subnational governments? Because some of these areas of interest, are in the rural areas.
Very good question. Of course, you know that.
That's why I'm here.
Very good question.
Thank you.
It's been 41 years now of building this platform. And of course, the first time you have our president as the chief host, grand patron, and the brand ambassador for this, because he is a diasporan himself.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Yes, he's a diasporan. He used to live in the U.S. He used to live in the U.S. Diasporan we're talking about is not only Nigerians. I think Honorable Abike Dabiri is doing excellently well in bringing them back home gradually. And it's a gradual process. It took 400 years of a concerted effort to separate us. It will require a concerted effort to bring us all back together slowly. Now, when we say Ipada initiative, it's not only for Africans, including lovers of Africa.
In fact, that's precisely what I'm talking about, because when they come, they want to see places. Yeah. They want to visit sites, tourist sites.
I know.
And most of the tourist sites are either, abandoned, neglected, or not developed. I know the Ministry of Tourism, Musawa, is doing quite a lot now, But what's the role of Ipada in all of this?
I think that when you have a 5 years program that people can plan for, and you're expecting 5 million, even just 500 people, 5,000 people coming, that is what will grow the industry, will develop the industry. We have in Nigeria, we have a bakery mentality. Bread sells, everybody start opening bakeries all over the place. So what you find is that you need to show and create prosperity in it. It's just that we don't know. Tourism have never really been our forte.
What marketing strategy do you want to use in all of this? Because like Kurita earlier mentioned, the press, is painting Africa and Nigeria, black. What strategy do you want to use to encourage people, to come and see it as...
Absolutely. You see, nobody can paint you see what you said, black. Because they identify black with anything negative. Black sheep of the family, Black Maria, black. All right. But what I mean to point to you is that when you set out to bring people from different parts of the world, that on its own, that mindset is marketing. You are looking at how do I bring them? What is the process? Do I go, in these days of social media, of course, we can reach within La Campagne, I think we have a reach of almost over 1 million on Facebook and LinkedIn, TikTok, and all the angles. So you use that first. Then you reach out to Africans, Nigerians. Kumi's total number of folks that he went to university with in the US, he can tell them, oh, Ipada, we have this, we have that. If maybe 100,000 of us that are back in Africa now, when I go to my alumni, Bowie State University, and I say, come back, join this event on a regular basis. You don't have to say, I want to wait till November, December. You come every day. Anytime you can create time is when you should come. It's not only associated with November, December festival. As a matter of fact, we try to downplay the festival aspect. We want people to come on a daily basis. We want it to be a revolving door. We have like about 30 people coming from New York now in September. We have over 40 as a group coming on this platform in August. They are here. There are 4 people that arrived. No, 2 of them. The third one just arrived today from Jamaica. I mean, she's supposed to be here with us. They arrived. And let me tell you how easy it is. And they spent approximately 3 days flying. Am I right? 3 days. They went first to Addis Ababa to Lagos. I mean, and this is a trip that,
yes,
so it shows you that
sorry to interject. We're about to round off this segment. We have a second segment, but just before we go, Ian Ray popped this question before, and I want to reiterate that question because sometimes we work in silos and in fragmented, manner. She's asked, why this isn't mainstreamed within, the larger scope of NITCOM.
No, well, the NITCOM will be. We need NITCOM with all private sector. I hope you know that tourism is a private sector initiative. It's definitely not government.
All right.
Government
okay.
is supposed
I think maybe a last word from Corita. Yes. So what's your message now? Now that you've come home, we welcome you. But what's your message with regards to this initiative?
Message to people out there.
Yes.
Not Nigeria. No, not the.
Generally.
Yes. Africa is a beautiful place. We have missed out on a lot. I have missed out on a lot, I think. I welcome the diaspora back. And I will say that since I've been here, I have more than 100 people wanted to come here.
Back. By the way, what's your favorite Nigerian meal?
What's my
favorite Nigerian meal?
Oh my God. I'm trying. I eat Gary.
Gary, oh.
and native soup, Ibu. Because
Egusi
soup. Yes, that's my favorite.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Corita Wyatt. I hope I got that right now.
Yes.
Citizen of Barbados.
Yes.
Should I say in Nigerian?
/
But all right.
An African.
Many thanks for being our guest, and of course, we wish you all the best in this project. Honorable Kumi Fakeye, Vice President of Government Affairs, Ipada Initiative. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, Otumba Dr. Wanle Akimboboye, pioneer of Ipada Initiative and owner of the Campaign Tropicana Resort. Many thanks for being our guest. Wish you the very best. We hope that in 2030, like you said, you come and tell us all the progress that you have made.
Before that.
Or even before then.
Can you try La Campagne Tropicana, La Campagne?
No, I can't try that. Let's go on a break. What I want to try is play football. And that's our next topic, talking about the Super Falcons. Stay with us.
The unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira.
For the past five years or more, the world has started recognizing female filmmakers. Female filmmaking and filmmakers was not really a thing initially because it's still a male-dominated sector. But suddenly, women are being put in places that has been able to give us opportunities and open our minds to so many different and unique things that we have been behind the scenes and been deprived of. Now we've seen that this avenue has been presented for us. We are being recognized globally. When we go out there, female filmmakers are now being like put among top 10 of everything that's happening in the world when it comes to filmmaking. So now when we have this kind of opportunities, all these kind of opportunities being presented to us, what do we do as female filmmakers? We are not going to say, oh, we failed at it. There's not been any form of failure. It was just about the right time, and the right time is now. Now that we have those platforms presented to us and the opportunities being presented to us, what do we do as female filmmakers? Do we get up, step up, combine forces, and work towards making sure that female stories are told the way that we want them to be told? Or do we just sit back and still be afraid to push forward? I am one of those people that I'm not afraid to push forward and to make sure that I'm telling the right stories that need to be told as a female filmmaker.
There's so much that females are doing right now. We have females in the box office, hitting the box office, and we have females producers now. So women are not just sent to do makeup or act. There are lots of women coming behind the scenes like myself and also doing great movies because we are good storytellers. We actually tell stories in great details and with a lot of soul and heart. So females in Nigeria are really evolving from just the people that are used in front of the cameras and doing makeup and welfare to directors, producers, cinematographers, and sound engineers, and that's amazing for me to see that in my lifetime.
What we realize, some of the biggest films out of Nollywood are from female, from the likes of Jade Oshibere, from Kemi Adetiba, Funke Akindele. The highest grossing film is from Funke Akindele. We've seen these people have actually taken the baton and they're actually thriving and putting us on the global map. I mean, for female cinematographers, what I want to encourage more people is that we should have more female people behind technical team. Like, it's not just the directors, like the fancy names. We need to encourage more females to actually take roles behind the scene, technical roles. We need more female in the gaffer department. We need more female in the sound department. Now we have more female editors, but we need more of that. What that does encourages other people. You're not just going into the film industry as a makeup artist. You know that you will thrive if you decide to take on other roles that are technical because you think that you give you a job. I tell people that it's not just about training people. Do they have pipeline to actually grow? Not just even train them, give them jobs. Let them grow. Let people know that it's possible for them to actually thrive in these roles.
The same way that I can go out there and combine with other top female filmmakers, and we can combine forces, partner, collaborate, and make bigger and greater things happen together. So I feel like this is the time. The world is seeing the power of female, and we have it. Is in our hands, and now we're making the very, very most of it as female filmmakers. Yeah.
All right, welcome back from that break. As we mentioned earlier, it's a historic moment for Nigerian sports. The Super Falcons have done it again, and they were super excited. They have claimed a record extending 10th Women African Cup of Nations title after a thrilling 3-2 comeback victory over host Morocco.
Now everybody, including you and Ray, is now a football lover. But
I've always been a football lover. Just that.
Anyway, as Ray said, from 2 goals down at halftime, to a sensational second half turnaround, the Super Falcons showed true great resilience and, of course, team spirit, and their triumph has sparked a wave of national celebrations across Nigeria, and with congratulatory messages pouring in, beginning, of course, from our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who actually delegated 2 solid female ministers to Morocco, and you saw them, hugging Ajibade with the trophy. It was a pleasure indeed. Yeah.
And like the women, Minister for Women Affairs would say, it's women o'clock. Now, indeed, the president hosted the team yesterday, rewarding each member with national honors of OON, in addition to a 3-bedroom flat and Naira equivalent of 100,000 US dollars each. Just wondering, what am I doing being a journalist?
Don't be what?
Jealous.
Okay. No, all right. And I'm glad, because I really wanted to discuss or talk about, what happened on that pitch. Of course, that very day. We would like to take a closer look at the road to victory, the challenges they overcame, and of course the incredible achievement, what it means for the future of women's football in Nigeria. But Eric, I really would love to know, and I'm glad we have someone here who can tell us, what happened after the first half?
So many questions. Stay with us as we celebrate the Queens of African football, the unstoppable Super Falcons. We're now being joined by Chief Dr. Paul Ede Esquire. He's the chairman of Benin State Football Association and founder Niger Rattles Football Club and Benin Queens Football Club. Many thanks for joining us. Maybe you begin by answering the question that Claire, was asking, what happened after.
Don't be too fast. We have a second guest joining us via Zoom from Oshogbo. In Osun State, of course, is our own Oyekale, our sports analyst. Thank you very much, and we're glad to have you join us, although not in the studio this time.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so let's begin. Let's just look at, the build up to the finals, the performance. Some people actually wrote off the Super Falcons. Well, I just said that we could as well have, adopt them as Super Eagles. Let's look at the Super Falcons, the build up to that final match, the performance, and, the last football, and, what it meant for everyone.
Well, first and foremost, the build up to the tournament brought a lot of symbolism, because the Nigerian Football Federation, under the able leadership of Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, came up with the concept of Project X, meaning that Nigeria was aspiring to win the trophy for the 10th time. And with that build-up, it came with a lot of pressure for both the coaching crew, the players, and coming on the heels that we had just let go of the coach of the Super Falcons, Waldron. The Herculean task was on the shoulder of Coach Justin Madugu, who had understudied Waldron before he was let off the hook. His contract was not renewed. Coming also on the heels of the fact that the girls were not in camp early enough to begin to train. At a point, I believe Coach Justin wanted to see how he can fuse in local-based players and see how the team can have a rebuild, particularly coming from the fact that he also wants to prove a point that he has what it takes. So that actually brought a lot of pressure on the girls. And to also think that most of the African nations, particularly South Africa, who have won WAFCON just once.
Were the defending champions.
Yeah, they were the defending champions. And, the pressure on them, the preparation from their end to retain the title was also very immense. Then also looking at the host nation, Morocco, that have invested tremendously in women's football and sport generally. So the pressure was heightened. And that you could see from the starting point,
yes,
where we struggled to even play a draw at our final group stage match. Then, of course, we won 5-0. And, of course, the pressure kept mounting on. And for the finals, a lot of Nigerians didn't give the Super Falcons much opportunity. And you could hear what the president said just yesterday, that after the first 2 goals within the first half, the pressure on him was so much. So you can tell that this has a lot of implications for our president, the #1 citizen of Nigeria, to be put under pressure by these girls. You can tell that even the girls were under immense
Not
pressure.
only put under pressure, he was he became hungry.
Hungry because the girls didn't allow his wife to cook for him.
Yeah, because I mean, the first lady needed to watch the match before continue with his meal. I mean, just imagine the sacrifice. But let's get to Oyekale now. Watching that tournament. Oh, let's focus on the final. I mean, that's like the star of them all. What was the most memorable moment for you? And speak about Rasheedat Ajibade. I mean, every player in that team did great. But speak about her, because I mean, she won the most valuable player. What was it about her style, about her play that made her stand out?
I want to join millions of Nigeria to first of all still say congratulations to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, because for the 10th time, their name will now be engraved on the trophy as the greatest country on the continent of Africa, talking about female football. Now, back to your question, Rasheedat Ajibade. When we went 2 goals down, it was not as a result of bad play or maybe Morocco played better than Nigeria, but rather just 2 moments of carelessness, 2 moments of loss of concentration, which really let them down, and Morocco took their chances. And before you know it, we were 2 goals down. But one thing that Ajibade did was that she never dropped her head. The spirit was still high. And that is the leadership you expect from a captain. A captain and a leader of a team will always rally the team that, no, we can do it. We can do it. Remember, Nigeria had done it before in Saudi 89. After going 4 goals down, they came back and they won that match against USSR at the World Cup. Remember Atlanta 96, when the almighty Brazil went 3-1 up against Nigeria. Nigeria came back and won that match. So that spirit was in them. And before you know it, in the second half, the fight started and we got that well-deserved penalty that was converted against all odds with distraction, because Nigeria was not just playing against 11 players, but they were playing against the crowd and against those distractions with laser lights on their eyes and everything. But Nigerians were focused. Okoronko converted that penalty kick. And from there, I told those with me, even before we scored the first goal, that Nigeria is coming back. And before you know it, the equalizing goal came and the pressure returned to Morocco. And of course, the winning goal. And from there, you know that, yes, it is Nigeria all the way. When NFF call it Mission X, I call it La Decima. That's the 10th, because it was expected. You mean a competition that has been organized 13 times and his country is winning it 10 times. You should know that that country deserves the best. And it was really a good one. Rasheedat showed that, bringing that leadership ability. And before the final, she has won the Woman of the Match 3 times. That attests to her superiority in the field of play that she was really a gem to really watch. Right from after she was promoted from the under-17 team to the main team, she has never shown any sign of abating. I think the last time we played Morocco, where we were eliminated in the semi-final, Morocco were lucky because she was red-carded. Had it been the red card was not there, Nigeria would have come back. But this time around, it was a point to prove. It was a revenge time, and the revenge was complete. Not only complete, but in a very, very sweet way, and Nigeria danced away in euphoria. It was really great for Nigeria.
Let me ask you before we come back to the studio again. You know, I was listening to the commentaries and, you know, statements like, oh, in fact, some people already gave victory to Morocco after 2 goals, you know, up. And people were wondering why Azizat, you know, was on the bench. I'm wondering, what do you think happened in the restroom, or what do you call it? Yes.
Well, I am not the coach, so I wouldn't have the facts about why Azizat was on the bench. But you saw when she came in, I think that fear factor that Agbabola was on the pitch, that fear factor, that fever got into the defense line of the Moroccans. But you wouldn't know why she was on the bench. It could be as a result of a knock or of injury or technical or tactical reason. That was why she was kept on the bench. But as Nigerians, we expect to see the 6th-time African footballer of the year. As a matter of fact, the greatest female footballer from Africa sitting on the bench. And when she stepped into the field, I think she brought in that urea. She brought in that excitement, that urgency that Nigeria needed. And alas, it came with a result, and Nigeria won. Though she did not score, but her runs off and on the ball really brought in some life and confidence into the team.
Some people said it was the substitution. You know, I mean, the subs that came in, and maybe a little caution, you know, from the coach, you know, during halftime rest. What do you think might have happened? Because when the girls came back, it was a different game in terms of ball possession and shots on target.
You know, the beauty of football is like journalism. Coming into the studio this morning, I didn't know the questions to expect.
It's not like journalism in reward.
But of course, your reward is also there. The fact that you could tell and extend the story of these girls is a great reward. For me, I believe that the reward in journalism spans beyond the monetary value, even though naturally you should expect money. But the point I'm trying to make is that coming into the studio this morning, I wasn't expectant on the kind of questions that you were going to ask. But you had to believe that if I come here, I'll be able to respond to those questions that you would ask. It's the same with football. When you play against a team that is coming to the playing field with a particular strategy that you are not preempted on, you need to think on your feet. And that's why you see that all through the finals, the coach never sat down once. He kept communicating with his backroom staff. He kept communicating with the players. Of course, the level of communications is different. And I believe that the coach must have noticed the few lapses he had with regards to the strategy that was implemented by the Moroccan team. And that showed how the game evolved and how he continued to transit from one level to the other. I also believe that the fact that Azizat, who is like he described, Agbabola, was on the bench is because the pace of the game required that you also field players, because when a coach selects his team, he looks at whose strength will be able to match the energy of the opponent, the strategy of the opponent. And I believe that for this particular tournament, some of the players he had could give him what
the result that he wanted.
The result that he wanted.
Now, talking about this particular team and the 10th title, this 10th title is really loud, and many thanks to the president for making it louder. Before now, I mean, the Super Falcons have been winning titles, the first, the second, third, seventh. I mean, many Nigerians, many people were not really interested. And then the kind of support that we're seeing now wasn't really there. What do you think this particular title would do to women's football, or let's say football in general in Nigeria?
Well, first, it shows that football has come of age, particularly women's football. I give you a bit of background about me. When I forayed into football development, the area I chose was a road that is least traveled, which is women's football. And people ask the question, why not get into the male football? You sell a player, you can make up to $1 million, $20 million. And I said to them, for me, football is about looking at promoting the girl child, because a lot of girls today who would have been stars playing in Morocco and getting the kind of reward that we have today could not, because it is believed that football is the men's game. Many parents don't allow their children to play football because they believe that the transition of a woman's physique, who most African mothers feel that a woman should grow up, get married, grow their children, have children, and all that. What the president has done is to show that, look, every mother, every father should be able to give their children, their female children, the opportunity to be able to play football or any sport, as the case may be. And I also believe that this 10th title had wider implication. One, to the president. It's kudos to the president. It has shown that he is a sports-loving president, because what a lot of presidents before him could not do, he has been able to do. Returning the Ministry of Sports to the Sports Commission and appointing technocrats to head those institutions. For me, it shows that he believes that sports is a panacea for youth development, and that happens to be one of the critical agendas that Mr. President has sought to sell in his renewed hope agenda. And I also believe that the hope of these young ones have truly been renewed. The hope of the coaches have been renewed. The hope for women's football in Nigeria has been renewed. And a lot of people might also tend to think, the president is doling out $100,000, calculating what $100,000 can do. You know, Nigerians will have a way of spending money for people. If he had carried this $10,000 and maybe built one stadium and all that, that is not the message the president is trying to send.
I hope you did. I wish you didn't talk on this now, because I was going to ask you. We talked about it earlier on, but please hold this thought on the president's largesse, splash on the Super Falcons, because I'd like to bring in Oyakale into our conversation. And you touched on the earlier on when you were responding to our questions on the position of the coach. Found himself. He had to take over from a foreign coach. Here is Coach Madugu, who is a Nigerian, someone you will call a local coach, where people have been clamoring for an indigenous coach, for football teams or for any sports team like that. Here is this man who took over at a critical dying minute in the stage of the tournament, injected. He did not rely on the professional players. He also injected even street players, and he delivered. Oyakale, what do you think about this? And, does this send a message, to even the NFA and NFF and all the football stakeholders about the potential in an indigenous coach?
Well, before now, we cannot expect less from any coach coaching the female team. because both the indigenous coach, the foreign coach, or any coach, even the female, that was the former Super Falcons player that have anchored the team, have all won the WAFCON for Nigeria. But where it is different for this coach was that he took over at the 11th minute. It was looking sudden for him. He wasn't really expecting it because issue with Waldrum and stuff like that. So the baton of leadership suddenly fell on him. But he never disappointed Nigeria. He was bold to select his team because for you to leave out a player like a Gift Monday, a player that could even be the captain of some other national team in Africa. So he selected his team, he had his own team, and he played his own style, which really made it. And remember, in years past, Nigeria looked so dominant because we were bullish in women football in Africa. But these days, other African countries are measuring up with Nigeria, especially talk about Morocco. Put the distraction and the controversy aside. They have been deliberate in developing their football for the last 10 years. They were deliberate to develop their football, and it has shown in even their football, their league, and everything. Same with the likes of South Africa. Unfortunately, in our own domestic league, you cannot say the same, but we have to rely on the individual brilliance of these ladies and also those that are applying their trade abroad. And we're even lucky to have ladies of Nigerian descent that were born abroad that decide to really represent their fatherland. And you see, talking about the reward system is part of what could encourage all these ladies to participate. So kudos must go to the coach for looking both inward and outside to really, get the best for Nigeria, because selection should always be based on merit, not on favoritism or nepotism, but rather you select the best based on merit and form. That is how you select football players. Merit, form.
Oyekale, we have some messages. This one says, congratulations to Nigeria and Nigerians. Congratulations to our great female heroes, the Super Falcons. I'm sure Claire has some more messages. She will sure take them. But you see, I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking what prayers... sorry I'm asking this question, but I have to ask because, you know, a lot of people have said that it was the god of football that saved the Super Falcons. And speak to us about your faith, really. You know, I mean, this would be a motivation for every other person, whether you're playing football or not. You know, the odds could be against you. I think that it was the faith of the girls. And, you know, like one of the players had a band on her hand that read about Jesus is King and all. And then you could see that, you know, they had a superior belief in something, right? That, you know, they could do great on the field of play. How did that help in them winning this tournament? That's one. Then two, government. Because we know that the president paid all their entitlements even before the final match. Did that in any way do some magic? I mean, to their minds, like, you know, Nigerians are behind us. If, you know, if we're getting all our entitlements even before we're done with this tournament, then it means that we have to give them back something, which is bringing back the trophy. Speak about that.
Well, football is also a game of motivation. It's a game of hope. It's a game of an expectation. And, you know, before the commencement of any tournament, the rules are set. The prize money is, of course, an expectation that every nation participating in the WAFCON expects at the end of the day. For me, I believe that in Nigeria, we have a very religious nation. We believe in God immensely in whatever we do. Even when you listen to the First Lady yesterday, you heard her praying for the team in the name of Jesus. You heard the President also praying for the team. And for someone who has known Ajibade for many years, she is a born-again Christian. She doesn't hide it. And in the field of play, even the shirt she was wearing inside of her jersey read Jesus. I'm sure if you saw her, she pulled it off at the point and you could see Jesus. So it is with other players. Azizat Oshola, for instance, is a Muslim, and she prays and believes in God. I know some of the key players in that particular team that believes that God, it takes only God to gain victory. And I think that added to their motivation. Then second of all, you also look at the fact that the girls went there with a lot of hope that Nigerians expect them to bring back this trophy after the 10th edition. If you were at the airport yesterday to receive them, you will see that the SGF was there, the Minister of Aviation was there, the former Minister for Sports, Phyllis Schreiber, all of them were on ground to receive them. And of course, the assurance that the nation will celebrate them.
Okay,
the president...
Sorry, I have to cut you so that we can get the final thoughts from Oyekale. Oyekale, please talk to us about the largesse, splashed on the Super Falcons by Mr. President. And by the way, I'm yet to see a First Lady who has given so much support and who is so much in love with promoting female sports as our First Lady. So we must also thank our First Lady for always standing by women in sports and anything women. She's always there. You see her beaming with smiles. But some people have said that, look, 150 million for each, OON, national honors, 3-bedroom flats. Is that too much?
A worker deserves his or her wages. These girls have really done well and they deserve far, far more. Well, maybe if they have not been celebrated or well celebrated in the past, does not mean they should not be celebrated now. There was a time when Nigeria wins, it would just be a presidential handshake, and it will be counted as an honor for you to have the presidential handshake. But this time around, it is a windfall of largesse. And you see, the reward system play a lot of role in sports. You see some athletes trying to defect to other countries. That is because they felt that they are not being well taken care of. If we have good reward system, note that sports in the world now is an industry of its own, and it's actually a very big industry. And football is one of the driving force in the industry of sports. And if investment is well made, I think they are revenue generating for themselves. So there is no amount that is too much when you reward athletes for good work, for doing good work, because that will encourage them to actually do more. They can go with this heart to the World Cup and win the World Cup. You understand? So the reward system is really much, and the Super Falcons have really come a long way. Many people are even talking about the 10th title, but actually the history dates back to 1991 of this competition. That was where it started, when Africa was to qualify for the World Cup in 1991, which Nigeria won. The second edition was in 1995 again, which Nigeria won, before it was now organized as a tournament in 1998 to qualify for the World Cup in 1999.
Many thanks, Jacob Oyekale. It's not too much. I agree with your thoughts on that. Dr. Eddie, your final thoughts in 30 seconds about the reward.
My final thought is that Nigeria, we must begin to take women's football seriously, develop the game at the grassroots level, invest more, enough playing tough. The state government should pick from where the president has done, and thankfully the Governors Forum has spoken by also rewarding the girls. And I think that each of the states of the federation should be able to give more to women's football.
All right, you said you have a female football team, right? So Claire and I are enlisting. So after this program, you tell us all that we need to do so that we can go on the field of play.
Don't try me. Don't try me. You don't know what I'm capable of doing.
Many thanks, Chief Dr. Paul Ede-Esquire, Chairman, Benin State Football Association and founder, Nigeria Rattles Football Club and Benin Queens Football Club. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. So you have new, members in your team.
Yes. And I am the new Okoronkwo. All right.
And of course, from Oshogbo, we had JJ Oyekale, sports analyst. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you for being our guest.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right. So that's it on Good Morning Nigeria this Tuesday. I'm Ian Ray John, live locked on the NTA.
And I'm Claire Okoronkwo Adelabu Abdulrazak. Bye-bye.